There is a new man in town. Buckle up for the beard.
This has been an easing process for James Harden.
The beard going to the basket. Step back, Jay. He's got it. Welcome to Brooklyn. He's got a triple-double in his Nets debut.
This is an unbelievable organization. All I have to do is just go out there and be the best James Harden I can be.
All right, David Fizdale joining us now to talk more about James Harden's debut. Listen, David, a lot of people were having fun online talking about what kind of shape he might be in. The memes were good, okay? We got to say that. The memes were really good. However, he looked just fine. He looked better than fine. He had a triple-double. What were your takeaways from this contest?
Well, that was the first one. The guy walked in the gym with a new team who already has stars and expectations and studs and got a triple-double. He handled the ball most of the time down the stretch and made all of the big decisions. They played a two-man game with he and KD. He looked comfortable. The team looked comfortable, and that was what really stood out. It looked like they had been playing together for multiple games already.
And you talk about down the stretch there where he had that ball. When Kyrie Irving comes back in the mix, I mean, these guys all have to learn how to play together, but when Kyrie comes back, another ball-dominant guy, how do you see that working out?
I think the biggest thing is going to be time of possession. Can they just limit the dribbles a little bit? They still have to be who they are. Attack, make plays off the dribble, break people down off the dribble, but can they shorten it 1 or 2 seconds? That really stood out to me with James tonight. You didn't see him overdance tonight. When he didn't have it, he made a play, got off of it, especially the one late where he scooped it to KD. He saw KD had Vucevic on him. KD drove it, kicked it to Brown in the corner, big trust play, and he hit the shot, knocked it down, and I think that's going to be something they have to bottle up.
Well, KD and Harden combining for 74 points in this game. You add Kyrie in the mix. These guys could be going for 100. That trio on a nightly basis, it is going to be a fascinating experiment to watch, my man. Scary for other teams. Thank you, David.
Thanks for having me.
All right, I'm going to channel some fizz here as we go around the...
New kid in town. Great expectations. Everybody's watching you. James Harden's Nets debut. How will he fit in with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving? Well, Irving not playing. Harden visiting Orlando fits. He had a historic night. He was 0 for 2 in the first quarter with 2 turnovers. That's his first bucket as a net. And then how about this? Fancy. He had 5 assists in the second quarter. A little behind the back to Jeff Green. Let's take another look at it. It's all about vision, man. We're locked up in a tight one against the Magic here. Let's keep it in the second quarter. Harden, he had 2 steals in the second quarter. Here's one of them. You better run. Runs the floor. Joe Harris. Hey, Joe! And then Harden drives and, listen, better find the dude who butters the bread, and that's that dude right there, Kevin Durant. He had 16 in the first half. Nets up 7. Harden running the floor. Green. Harden looked in fine shape. Take another look. And our analysts say, hey, listen, his assists are going to go up, his points are going to go down. Harden, 8 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 turnovers in the first half. The Nets are up 2. Let's go to the third quarter. How about a highlight that's Harden-free? It's Kevin Durant. Throwing it down. Back to Harden. Dribble. Step back, Bobby Jack. 3 of 10 from 3. The Nets up 3 after 3. Let's go fourth quarter. Still tight. All right, Harden drives. I mean, listen, he garners attention. He's a great player. He's an 8-time All-Star. He's got a couple gold medals, 3-time scoring champion. And that's what happens. Durant, 42. Harden, triple-double, 32 points, 12 rebounds, 14 assists. He was 1 turnover away from a quadruple dubious. The Nets win, 122-115.
It felt unbelievable. I hope you can tell by my smile and my play. Whoever has a hot hand, that's who deserves the ball. The basketball finds energy. It finds people that have good energy, good spirit. So that's what I try to bring to the game tonight. I'm so excited for Kai to get back. He's a key piece to what we're trying to do. And, the chemistry, as soon as we can build that, as soon as we can be on the court together, it's going to be scary hours.
Hey, man, it was scary here. It was historic. Most points scored and assisted in a team debut in NBA history. Just last season, Kyrie Irving created 67 points, 50 of which he scored in his debut with the Nets. Harden scored or assisted on 64 points in his debut with the Rockets back in 2012. He had 37 points, 12 assists in a win against the Pistons. And then in his Nets debut, Harden scored or assisted on 63 points, third most all time. He becomes the first player in NBA history with a 30-point triple-double in his debut with a team. Our research, it's better than yours. David Fizdale suiting up for us. And Coach, James Harden looked great. It's one game. It's minus one head of the big three. So what can we take away from it?
He looked pretty good. I don't have any questions about his conditioning, I'll tell you that. But I thought that was a close game for the most part. But I like how Steve Nash put the ball in his hands and had KD running in the pick and rolls with him and letting him do what he does, and that's make other people better and at the same time kill you if you forget about him, and he did that. So that really stood out to me.
One play really stood out as well towards the end. What was it, and why should we file it away?
Very important play for a guy to walk onto a team and they're already recognizing these things and making these plays. But James Harden had the ball in an isolation situation with the clock running down, and he could have taken a step back three or done something like that. But instead, he underhand scooped it to KD because he saw KD had a great matchup against Vucevic. But KD, seeing that the help came off the corner shooter, hit the guard Brown right in his shooting pocket, and he knocked down that shot. All of those plays say that this team is going to work on trusting each other. And if they can trust each other with the amount of talent that they can put on the floor, man, they could end up being champions.
Okay, I'm going to give you two teams. They're fully healthy. They got their full complement of players. I want you to pick me a winner. The Nets against the Heat.
Nets.
Nets against the Celtics.
Nets.
Nets against the 76ers.
Nets.
Nets against the Bucks.
Nets.
David Fizdale boldly goes.
And my man Fizz is rocking the Deacon board haircut right there. That fro is working. Rockets beat the Spurs in their first game without Harden Thursday. They met again Saturday. Rockets had only the minimum 8 players available. They had Christian Wood. That helps. Less than a minute after that play, Wood senses a double team, throws it out to Rodion Kurucs. Wood double-double in the first half, 12 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. Tight going into the fourth quarter. Wood, by the way, 24-18 with 3 blocks for the game. Fourth quarter, Spurs leading by 3. DeMar DeRozan. You need a bucket. He can get you one. Spurs take a 5-point lead. Greg Popovich said the Spurs played their best defense in the fourth quarter, and that was a good idea. DeJounte Murray a part of that. He had 18 points, 10 boards for the game. He had 7 points in the fourth quarter. 3 assists and 3 steals for Murray as well. And then here's DeRozan again. He had 24 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. The Spurs beat the Rockets 103-91. So now let's take a look at the post-Harden Rockets. They've now played 3 games without Harden this season. This was their first loss. 2-1 without him, 2-6 with him. Keep in mind that John Wall has missed the last 2 games with knee soreness, and the team is just 1-3 when he doesn't choose this.
Allow me to introduce myself indeed. First 30-point triple-double in a team debut all time. 7th player with any sort of triple-double in a team debut all time. Let's hear from the Beard.
Hey, James, congrats again on the win. Your teammates out there learning, getting to know you. What did you, though, learn about your teammates tonight?
We have some special talent in this locker room. Very versatile shooters, playmakers, defenders, a little bit of everything. And that's what you're going to need, especially when it comes postseason. Obviously, we haven't built as much chemistry as we would like. But that first game, it felt good to be out there on the court and just, give me guys confidence, give me guys energy. And that's what it's going to take throughout the course of the year. And once you build that up and guys believe in each other, then it's pretty scary.
Malika Andrews with ESPN.
Hey, James, I'm wondering if there was any sense of this was like riding a bike, getting back out with Kevin Durant.
I'm a hooper. So I just, like I said, I'm very unselfish. I'm willing to just do whatever it takes to win. And obviously, KD is just a, elite, like just different type of basketball player as far as the way he's able to score the basketball. It's so easy for him, and I know that. So I just want to make it a little bit more easier if I can, and then for the rest of the teammates, our shooters and our bigs, make it easier for them. So yeah, it was pretty easy out there.
Greg Logan with Newsday.
James, yesterday you said when you were asked what talent do you need to improve or emphasize or whatever, you said playmaking. And it seemed like that's what you were concentrating on tonight. You got everybody's shots, you distributed the ball, you moved it quickly, and then when you had to, you turned it on offensively. So can you say, is that, do you expect that to be your approach going forward, especially when they add Kyrie Irving to the mix?
For me, I'm just, I have so many dimensions to my game. I just take whatever the defense gives me. I play the game the right way, or at least I try to every possession, and just takes whatever the defense is giving me. And like I say, whoever has the hot hand, that's who deserves the ball. The basketball finds energy. It finds people that have good energy, good spirit. So that's what I try to bring to the game tonight.
Brian Lewis with the New York Post.
Hey, James. It's hard to get in somebody else's head, but I mean, you made it pretty clear that you wanted to be in Brooklyn, and at least it seemed like you were really enjoying yourself out there tonight. I'm just curious, now that the game's over, I mean, did it feel like what you expected, and how did it feel? How would you describe it?
It felt unbelievable. I mean, I hope you can tell by my smile and my play. Just excited, and for the opportunity. This is an unbelievable organization from top to bottom. And, for me, all I have to do is just go out there and be the best, James Harden I can be. And, good things will happen.
Christian Winfield with the New York Daily News.
Hey, James, one thing about you and Kyrie and KD as it pertains to you guys' offensive talent is that you guys can kind of tell what the defense is going to do before they do it. How do you think that is going to help guys like Joe, guys like DeAndre, when the defense can't really help off of, we saw today, defense can't help off of Joe. He's going to hit a three. Defense can't help off of the guy down low. You got to throw the lob up top. How does that make this team better, that you guys all know what the defense is going to do and they can't really double you?
Once we go through every scenario, and it's only maybe 4 or 5 that teams can really do against us, and throughout the course of the year that's going to happen, once we figure out, okay, they're doing this tonight, this is how we attack it, or they're doing this tonight, this is how we attack it. Once we get that, it's basically up to us. And I'm so excited for Kai to get back. He's a key piece to what we're trying to do. And the chemistry, as soon as we can build that, as soon as we can be on the court together, it's going to be scary hours.
Alex Schiffer with The Athletic.
Hey, James. Jill and Kevin were kind of saying how, early on everyone was maybe a little too pass happy and not taking as much. Just what point in the game did you kind of start to feel you got into a rhythm and got comfortable?
I mean, I had, 9 turnovers throughout the game, and maybe 6 or 7 of them were to, looking to get guys and DeAndre get them lobs. That's me being unselfish. That's me trying to get guys involved. But at the end of the day, I just still got to be a player at the end of the day and score when I need to score, and when the pass is there, do it. So, first game, I'm happy to get it out the way. Now we can watch some film and get ready for our next opponent.
Brian Mahoney with the Associated Press.
Hey, James, how did your preparation today? Did you know for sure you'd get to play, or if not, when did you find out? And, without not knowing many of the kind of plays and things like that, is it almost more fun that you get to figure it out yourself a little bit more as opposed to kind of having things scripted?
I mean, I have, had multiple conversations with our coaching staff on what we're trying to accomplish on both ends of the ball. So pretty much I'm familiar with it, and I know, where spots where to put our players in. And then it makes it easy when you have Kevin Durant on your team who can take some of the pressure off of you as well. So, like I said, it's a long way to go. It's a process, but I think just watching film, getting better, learning where guys like to be. We have some unbelievable shooters, trying to get them more shots so they can feel more involved in the offense, getting our bigs more, paint points, and just kind of directing people and guiding people to where they should be so they can be more effective. I think once that happens, our team will be a lot better.
Ian Begley with SNY.
James, it's not a basketball question, but could you share anything about what you had to give Landry Shamet for number 13?
I'm sure he'll post it when I give it to him. Nah, that's big time though. For him to sacrifice that, I got to make sure I get him something.
And last question, Jen Williams with Fox 5 New York.
Hey James, you said you came to Brooklyn to play for a contender. I know it's just the first game, but keeping that in mind, how are you feeling about that decision after the first game?
It felt great. I mean, even from when I stepped foot into the building, it was open arms, and like I said, it's anything I need, they're there for me. They're making sure I'm getting my work in, making sure that everything is laid. So all I got to do is go out there and just be me. For me, in return, I got to make sure everybody is feeding off that. And tonight was a really good start. Hopefully, next game we have Kai back and just keep this thing rolling.
James Harden, Kevin Durant combined 74 points this evening, most ever in a game as teammates. Played 3 years together in OKC, had not played together since 2012. Time to hear from Kevin Durant.
Kevin, I know you know his game well, but just your assessment of James Harden in his debut, his first game with the team, and how he looked.
Man, it was incredible. You could see him trying to figure out the best way to play early on. I felt like we all were overpassing, trying to make everybody comfortable, and then he just got into his mode of being aggressive to score, and that opened up the whole game for all of us. So, glad he got his feet up under him. He's got to keep plugging away, keep getting better each day.
Was there an increase? I know he's new, and of course you're going to do a lot of talking there, but kind of increased communication across the board with the team so that you guys are locked in at the task at hand? Yeah,
I mean, you got James, myself, Jeff, DJ out there, Joe, guys who've been in the league for a while. I think all of us, on the same page and communicating what we need from each other on the defensive side of the ball, especially on offense. I think we were moving and flowing a little bit on offense, based off our communication. We didn't have a play coming across half and guys were talking guys through actions, and same on the defensive side of the ball. So we're only going to get better at that, and it's going to take some time for us to build up that consistency of how we want to play on both ends, but it was a good step.
Greg Logan with Newsday.
KD, during his introductory press conference, James was asked what part of his game he needed to improve or emphasize or whatever. He said playmaking. And he in Houston, he kind of pounded the ball. But tonight, he moved the ball. And there were moments where when you and he and Harris were moving the ball, the defense was paralyzed. What do you think this kind of debut does for him? What message does it send in terms of sacrifice and how he's willing to play and yet be able to still step up and score?
Yeah, I mean, James, he played the same way he always played, to be honest. I mean, he played the same way he was playing in Houston, handling the basketball, being a pass-first guard, trying to get his guys good looks. He played the same way. And, Coach put him at the point. I think that's his natural position, to be honest, his point and, off guard, combo guard. And, for him to come out and get 14 assists, 12 rebounds for us at the point guard was key.
Brian Lewis with the New York Post.
Kevin, you and James have, 7 scoring titles between you, and Kai probably hit the most iconic shot in the last 10 years. I mean, when you have 3 guys that are so accustomed to leading teams, getting late buckets, big shots, what's the biggest key to making sure that all 3 of you can be as good or as dominant as you're accustomed to being, but still keep the main thing?
Well, understand it's more than just us 3 on this basketball team. We gonna need Joe Harris to continue to knock down shots, TLC. We'll need DeAndre to roll to the rim hard, and our bigs to come in and help set screens and rebound. And so I think it's a group effort, and that's going to open up the floor for all of us. And it's having high IQ guys who are unselfish, who want to make the extra passes. We'll see how it plays out. Each game is different. I think we want to approach each game with that attitude of just all of us being who we are and being aggressive, but, being on one string, and, we'll see how it goes.
Alex Schiffer with The Athletic.
Hey, Kevin, obviously you and James have kept in touch and worked out together over the years, but it's been a while since you two were in an official NBA game together. Does the rapport you two have with each other kind of translate pretty quickly, given your ties, or did it take a couple of sessions for that to really get in the full swing?
No, I mean, like I said, having veteran guys and being in the league for so long, you didn't worked on so many different schemes and offensive actions. You kind of know how to play the game, and it's not just me and James. Jeff's the same way, DJ's the same way, Kyrie's the same way. Guys that have been in the league for almost 10 plus years, where we could just sometimes we don't even have to speak to know what we're thinking, and guys are just understand each other, and we've been studying each other for so long, scouting each other for so long. So that IQ is just there. It's only going to get better.
Malika Andrews with ESPN.
Hey, Kevin, you had 42 tonight. At what point did you feel like, yeah, all right, I've got this. I've found my rhythm here after getting off to a little bit of an up and down start really early on?
Yeah, I mean, missing shots I felt like I got to my spots. I think it was a matter of time before I started to knock them down, and I got some great screens tonight from DJ and the bigs, and James set me up nice, and my teammates set me up nice. But I just felt comfortable, and I'm getting better, getting more comfortable each game, and hopefully it continues.
Christian Winfield with the New York Daily News.
Hey, Kevin, obviously you and James and Kyrie can score, but another part of you guys' games is that you guys are high IQ, and you kind of can tell what a defense is going to do before they do it. How do you think that is going to help guys like Joe, guys like DeAndre out there when the defense really can't afford to double because either it's going to be a lob or Joe's going to be open for a three?
Yeah, I can't wait till we have our full team together and seeing where we can create shots for shooters, seeing how we can get our bigs some easy points in the paint. But it's going to be tough for anybody to double us, especially out at the three-point line. And teams may trap us in the pick and roll, but we got guys that can make good plays on that back end. And but you're gonna get your best shot from everybody. Like tonight, these guys felt like they didn't miss a shot in the second half. So we're gonna get the best shot from everybody, but it's about us every single night, and how we can continue to just keep putting out good energy on both ends of the floor.
Jen Williams with Fox 5 New York.
Hey, Kevin, did you get a chance to talk with James after the game, and what was that conversation like?
No, it was just good win, good game. Let's get back to practice tomorrow and see how we can get better and learn from tonight. We had 15 turnovers between us too, and that's terrible. And we had 19 as a team, so that says our teammates kept the ball in their hands. We got to be better. So, I probably should go talk to him about that right now.
And last question, Brian Mahoney with the Associated Press.
Hey, Kevin, it's 10 games for you now. Your average is up over 30 points. I know you said you didn't have any expectations for how this would go, but as you evaluate it now, how do you explain being this good this fast after that kind of layoff you had?
Well, I got a long ways to go, and I got a good staff, teammates, training staff that put me in position every day to go out there and be the best that I can be. So it's 10 games in. We got 62 more. That's a long season ahead. Well, we got more than that. I missed a few games. We had 13 games, 14 games. So we got a long season ahead of us, and I just want to keep putting